Hello and welcome to session 3 of 5 for Neo Shinobi Vendetta, which is an anime ninja game using Blades in the Dark, a setting that I put together, and then Sherry Stewart wrote a hack up for it, and so we're playing with that. It's a reskin, and we have our group of ninja who are working from the inside of their own clan, trying to put things right. Last time, they had a lovely meal, and then they went out and killed some Yakuza. It was all in all a good day. So we are going to be starting and rolling into this in just a second. We've got some logistical things to check into. If you're watching this, know that this is part of the Gauntlet Hangouts, which is an online gaming community. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. Also, I like to say this a lot because it gets hostile comments in the YouTube videos. So we are using safety tools with the X card as our default safety tool. So if you see us talk about that, then know that those things are being moved past because of objectionable material, things that are triggering phobias, things people are uncomfortable with, or if something is wildly off tone. These are all legitimate reasons to use the X card. In an online environment, it's a useful tool. So let's start then with the cell. So last time you got a cell advance, you claimed close, and then I decided to be a generous GM and give you the last point to allow you to advance your cell. So I'm going to clear those check marks. And so because this is a short-term game, you have a choice. You can either get 3, but think 4 fingers up, but I meant 3, 3 upgrades, like cell upgrades or layer or quality or training, or you can get a special ability and 1 upgrade. So Owen, what do you think? Let's poll the table, as it were.
I know Fraser wants more bikes, but we could still do a special ability and a bikes and be good there.
That's true.
So I'm kind of leaning that direction, but it's not a hard vote unless somebody, unless
so
I'm deciding.
One kind of lean towards an upgrade pick and an ability. Peter, what do you think?
I could really go either way. I can kind of see the benefits of both. I'm interested to see possibly getting a new special ability, but we made a lot of use out of just using meta network. So like, I don't mind if that ends up being our only special ability for now.
But there's some sweet, sexy ones there on the list too.
Yeah, I mean, I could be swayed either way.
Darren?
I really want those amenities, but I also think we really should take coordination since we have a cohort. So I'm leaning hard into 1 ability, 1 upgrade. And that upgrade maybe is better bikes, maybe is soft pillows in our safe house, who knows?
Fraser?
Yeah, I could go either way as well. I'm not married to anything.
So I'm hearing then some lean towards getting special ability and 1 upgrade pick. So let's start with, I think, perhaps the tougher decision, the special abilities. Now, certainly Darren has spoken strongly for the coordination. Fraser, are there any on that list that you're like, this is the one we've got to have?
No, I'm good with all of them, really. It looks like someone has chosen synchronize, though. It's like highlighted.
Okay. Owen, what do you think?
I would be the one who highlighted synchronized.
Okay.
So I like that combined with the meta network.
Peter?
I could. The one that actually jumps out to me is Forged in Fire, because +1 data resistance rolls. I want to take less damage.
Those are all interesting. So we have 3 choices on the table from 3 people. Maybe we should have Fraser decide, since he had no voices. Does that seem like a reasonable way to approach it, or do people want to make a case?
Yeah,
We
you
have
have
a
to
whole
make a case
cohort.
to make a case to me.
cohort. We get like a whole free new downtime action.
Is there a rebuttal?
With synchronized, we get additional gambits when we do team actions when we're not near each other.
Yeah, you get a group action. You can have multiple 6s for different roles for possibility of additional critical successes. It's a good one.
Well,
Peter?
okay. How about I want specialists, and then we just roll a d4.
That seems like a reasonable way to do that. So let's go to the big board. Let me find where the link is for the where did I put? Oh, there it is on that one. Okay. Darren, would you roll us a d4?
It's gonna land on coordination.
Oh wait, I want prepared.
Oh my god.
So Darren is 1, Fraser is 2, Owen is 3, Peter is 4.
Haha. It's coordination.
Okay. So coordination. During downtime, one of your cohorts may take a downtime action to acquire an asset, reduce heat, or work on a long-term project. So you've got your team of psychic doppelgangers there. They are specialists at deep ops. And which leaves us with the question of what do you want as your upgrade pick? You have the cell upgrades. You could take one of those. Could take an upgrade to your layer set of things. Could get quality items. You can increase your training. Any thoughts on those? Darren got what he's wanted, so. Peter, thoughts?
I'm perusing right now. There's nothing at the moment that's like jumping out to me. So if someone has a stronger opinion, by all means.
I'm split between elite cohort, since we just took coordination, or Fraser's bikes.
Okay. And Fraser, do you have a strong opinion either way? Is it bikes?
Well, last time I got what I wanted to, so I'm okay if we go a different way.
I'll actually go ahead and second the elite cohort thing because I think Owen makes a good point.
In that case, I think we should go bikes. No, just kidding.
Fraser, I see you. I see you.
All right. So we have an elite cohort doppelgangers. They were forged in fire last time, and they have only gotten better. So we will note that they are elite.
Singing in the cages improved them greatly.
Yes.
Forged in the fires of death by karaoke.
Yes. Okay. So with that in mind, we're going to take a look. We're going to move over to the downtime. And Owen, can I have you roll me 2d6? And tell me what the lowest of them is.
Well, it's a 4. No matter how you cut it, it's a 4.
It is a 4. So here is what that means. One of your allies is getting dragged in by the clan. Like there's some suspicion, some worry about that. Now, per the way this works in. I'm going to get to the exact thing from the entanglements here. Da, 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 da. Yes, payoff. Yes, there we go. So that is so you have I need to know who gets yanked in. Which of your allies gets pulled in? And let's look at who people's allies are. Cypher, your ally is the lore keeper. Anubis, yours is the incident cleaner. Bashi, yours is that woman in deep ops that you're working on turning to your side. And then Oni, Aurora, yours is the weapons maker. Who do you think gets pulled in by the upper echelon to ask some questions about your work group?
Yeah, I was gonna say who helped us on the mission. Maybe
That
they
would be
did.
Tekla.
Oh, poor Tekla.
So Tekla gets pulled in. So you have a choice. I can make a roll and see how much heat she generates when she talks, and also how much damage she takes. Or you can pay 2 secrets, essentially, to keep her from getting dragged in.
I only have 1 secret unless I take secrets from the secret bank. I have to.
Question: what are
Yes.
secrets used for otherwise?
The secrets are coin. So if you put secrets in your legend, eventually you're going to get more stuff. Like at each of the 4 tiers, you get some benefits. It's also used for upping results during downtime and buying additional downtime actions.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to put this out there. I am willing. I have 2 secrets. I'm willing to spend one of mine.
So we would need a second one.
I mean, yeah, I'll give up my secret then. In that case.
Okay. So go ahead and spend those secrets. So how is it that where do you put the pressure on it to get Tekla out from under the microscope? Since it's you, Cypher, and you, Bashi, who are kind of doing this, how do you think that works? What does that look like?
Do you think that this is like a clandestine mission where we infiltrate our own clan and we like prop me up in disguise and we like somehow exonerate her?
Yeah. I'm thinking it would probably be something along those lines. And like the fact that it's the 2 of us, me with like the whole like thinking like 10 steps ahead and trying to figure out and plan out everything. Like this would absolutely be the kind of thing where I'm like, I could do this all myself, and then you step in and go, well, let me help. This is on me as well. And like it's as coordinated as it gets.
Yeah, you have to hit some of the storage places, intercept orders, move things around, and eventually, because it's not severe questioning, like they just have some questions about some anomalies, and that just falls off the radar for them. And she never knows. She never knows that this was going to happen to her, that you were about to put her in such a horrible position. She's unaware of that. So that's entanglements. Let's go to downtime actions. Owen, let's look at Anubis. Anubis is doing okay. what does Anubis want to do for downtime?
Nubis right now wants to work on establishing that safe house.
Okay. So that is a long-term project then.
Mm-hmm.
So we do that. And what do you think is the action you want to use this time for helping getting that set up?
I'm leaning towards subverting whatever employee security situation there is in the place that I found last time.
Okay.
So that they all kind of know it's a no-go area for whatever reason. Signs go up saying authorized personnel only. Nobody knows who's authorized. That sort of idea.
So undermine?
Yep.
Okay. Let's have you roll a d6.
And that's a 6.
That is a 6. A 6 is 3 segments. So you will successfully get that done.
Nice.
And essentially, there are a few of the other genocolony people that know. You've maybe laid the groundwork to eventually getting maybe a genocolony cohort, but you certainly got some contacts there, and you've set that up. It is off the grid. And how big a space do you suppose it is? Is it like just a handful of people? Is it a little bit larger?
If they're good friends, you could probably put in 7. If not so good friends, probably more like 4 or so, with space and that sort of thing.
And is there some kind of shrine or altar or anything to the sort of the genocolony faith that you've developed?
Yeah, there's definitely a stylized DNA helix tree of life sort of thing with bits of carving and welding and that sort of deal of different life forms and all that interacting with each other and blending into each other.
Nice. All right, Cypher. Let's look at where you're at. You're okay place. What would you like to do for your downtime action?
So I've been thinking about that, and I'm gonna risk it a bit. I got a 2/3 chance of doing okay, so I'm gonna indulge in my vice.
Okay. So your lowest is strike. So roll me a d6.
Okay.
Do you want help?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I do take the lowest of these, right? Or the highest.
Let's see. When someone aids you
I'm trying to
with
remember.
stress relief,
Oh, clear stress equal to highest result, and it's add +1 dice to the roll if you get help from a friend or contact.
yeah.
Yes, I will absolutely take that. So I want to do well.
So you're let me look at the character sheet. So your thing is
Making memories.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
How do you help?
I think maybe as you're like looking around for like how you want to do that this time or something like that, I maybe see you a little bit on edge, and I think that Bashi approaches you and is like, Cypher, I know a discreet way where you can have your dreams come true. And I think I have like a contact or like I have contacts with like other doppelgangers, these things, right, for this network where I can pull into and have these like discrete meetings that.
Absolutely. So
yeah.
Let's have you roll, Cypher.
All right, so that's 2d6.
2d6 and take the highest.
Okay, here we go. All right, I overindulge.
So the good news is that you clear all that stress.
Right. Okay.
The bad news is...
Oh, there's always badness.
Yeah. You've got effectively in this, you've got two choices.
Mm-hmm.
You can, because you won't be lost. That's sort of off the table for what we're doing here. You can either roll another entanglement incident, or you can add 2 heat to the group's heat.
Okay, so that would put us at how much heat?
Let's see. Your heat would then be, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'd be at 7. I guess you guys had some downtime actions to bring that down. I wouldn't worry about it.
Actually, yeah. In hindsight, like, yeah, I'm gonna take the 2 extra heat.
Absolutely. That's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Well, because I just realized I've got. So I'm gonna go ahead then. When it comes to my next thing, I'll give myself my extra downtime action, or maybe someone else, because I've got calculating.
That's
So.
right. That's a good plan. Let's come to Bashi. Bashi, everybody's at 4. that really awkward number.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I think I need to indulge a vice, my vice.
Okay.
Which is a very funny vice. Because I prefer doing some gambling in Yakuza controlled dice halls. That'll be fine.
Yeah. So you go to one of the halls. Last time, I believe that you did a number on the red Yakuza. So the blue and the white are certainly available to you. What's the difference between them in terms of their gambling halls?
Oh man. Well, I'm not missing the red because they like sucked. That was like at the back of the restaurant. It was like sweaty. There wasn't any like air conditioning really, or there was like a broken window unit. And that was just where Bashi would go when it got really bad because like the steaks weren't good. The house probably always won for sure. Like they would just beat people up and take their money. So blue and white's better. Like I think Bashi's feeling pretty good about this, but the blue I think actually does cards, so like that's just not in Bashi's like realm usually, but I think he would do it if he had to. So it's gonna be white, and white's not bad, but I don't know, they have some like weird gambling thing, so I think it's like it's all like blind bets or something like that. So you like maybe you bet when you go in or something, and then you just gamble until like somebody's like you're done. I don't know, something like that.
Like a pool, and when you go into when you don't know what people are actually putting in for their money and things.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Well, let's see. You've got 1 die, so boy, odds are that you're not going to overindulge, right?
I'd like to help.
I don't know.
How would you help?
Well, I think after that last incident clearly went so well with all the doppelgangers and everything, I think that if the key to this is gambling, there's always a way to win if you watch close enough.
And so you are doing your calculation to assist him in his victories?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Then Bashi rolled 2d6.
I don't even know if I want the help.
I mean, you can reject it, I guess. I'm okay with that.
What do you think, Darren?
I'm gonna reject it.
Great. I go to help and you're like, no, and I'm cool with it.
Well, I think I'd tell you it's not about winning, Cypher. It's about the thrill of rolling the dice.
Yeah. And like the minute you say it's not about winning, I'm like, okay, so you're crazy. Got it.
Yes. Okay. It reveals some insight. Well, with that in mind, you just have 1 dice, so there's a great chance that you'll do well.
Highlight that. There we go. 4. Amazing.
So you completely clear. This is great. You sail through like your money keeps rolling over. You know, just when you kind of thought you were down, you get enough to go on a little bit more, and it kind of goes on.
The last dice roll we see, Bosch doesn't even like look at it. He's just like laughing and having a good time.
Nice. Aurora. Now, Aurora, your stress is not 4.
I'm so stressed out. Yeah, so I'm gonna indulge my vice and do that Nathan Drake thing. Get some of that good art pieces. Except, well, I guess more like Lara Croft, except I'm stealing my own stuff. So that's better, I think.
We see you out checking, tracking down more of those leads.
Yeah.
That incident last time.
Yeah, more pieces, a little bit more discreet. So my daddy don't get mad at me.
Well, let's have you roll a d6 or 2d6.
Sounds good. Oh, where's the dice roller?
Oh, it is vigorously valued dodo.
Oh.
Drop it in the chat.
Oh. Okay, so indulging a vice 2. Magenta go. Oh, I can't tell which is which.
The last, if you just rolled, the last total was 6. So I don't know what that would be.
Is it always the last 2 dice that pop up?
Yeah, I think if you put 2 dice in, it'll tell you the total of the 2.
Yeah. How does that make sense then?
It would either be
It would have to be the 5 and the 1, I guess, right?
Well, here let's just choose another color and re-roll.
Okay. People stop using my magenta. Okay, I'll go lavender. And I'll move all these out of the way. 4 and a 1.
4 and a 1. So 4 stress. That gets you down to 3, which is fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do well. You get a hold of some things. It doesn't quite clear everything out for you, but you do feel a lot more relaxed.
Yeah.
That brings us back around to Anubis. What about your second downtime action?
All right, I'm just verifying. Bashi's going to try to reduce heat.
All right. So tell me.
No, that is not true.
You also still have your cohort to go who can spend their downtime action reducing heat.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm sticking with my tendency to just try to figure out where the sources of information are, try to redirect them, trying to subvert systems along those lines, because I figure probably trying to make us less noticeable by shooting people dead, probably not our plan right now.
Yeah, not right now.
No, that's
sure
the next plan.
Come to that.
Yeah.
So let's have you roll undermine.
And that's a 2.
That is a 2, so it will click down 1 tick.
Okay. So a little better, but not as much not as much as I was hoping.
That is very true. Cypher.
Right. So I brought this heat up. I'm going to start bringing it down.
Okay. And what is your means of reducing attention, distracting, all of that?
So I think one of the things that I can deal best in is sort of misinformation. And I want to go to basically see if I can get my good ally friend Lorekeeper's help in spreading some very just out there misinformation on who's done what.
So that sounds like Undermine. Are you subbing in one of your uses of study for that this time?
Yeah, I think I gotta.
That's 3 dice.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm just gonna take these. Hope for the best. The top one's a 5.
That is very good. So yeah, you will work the crowd, as it were, and take your heat down to 1. Attention gets quiet. You pulled Tekla out of the line of fire. You spread misinformation. You will bring that down.
Cool.
Which
Cool.
brings us then to Bashi.
I need to train.
Okay.
I'm gonna train my playbook. I'm trying to think of what this looks like. How do we become a better kitsune?
Well, what are you taking? Tell us what you're taking, and then let's figure out how you learn that.
That's a really good point. I'm gonna take a veteran move, and I'm gonna take Storm, which means in close combat, and I'm equal in scale to a small gang. And this is because I just have this vision of Psychic Blast counting as a small gang. I really like it.
So you go all Mob Psycho 100
Yeah,
on it? Okay.
Oh, maybe this is more like I'm doing some sort of traditional Buddhist Templar training. Maybe it's like maybe I'm just in the safe house in front of the little shrine we have. The air is thick with incense, and a single bead of sweat drips down my brow as I'm doing like intense psychic training.
I like that. And we will see you. What's the visible sign in the room that we know that you had an epiphany?
There's a there's a vase on the kitchen island that has a very delicate flower in it, and the vase cracks.
Nice. So yeah, you take that veteran move. Go ahead and clear your playbook track, and you are in good shape. Fraser.
I think I will try. I'll keep. Well, I don't know. It's more fun if I try to clear all the stress. But how much heat do we have again?
1. You no suspicion level, and you took the heat down to 1.
Let's do it. Let's keep indulging. I'm on the right track.
Absolutely. 2 dice.
Okay. That'll be turquoise. 3. Haha.
So yeah, nicely done.
I got that.
You know what? You've had such good luck. I think that you really that's never going to change. So you should always push your luck from now on.
Probably, yeah. That seems like the right lesson to take away from this.
Exactly. So before we come around and check if anybody wants to spend a secret to get an additional downtime action, what is it that you want your cohort to do? They can acquire an asset, reduce heat, or work on a long-term project. Any thoughts? So I'm hearing Tekla or asset.
Tekla.
All right. So tell me, what are they doing to push Tekla forward, to reveal reveal the secret world to her, or fool her into things. They are psychic masters of deception, after all.
Maybe it is Inception. Maybe it's not like lies necessarily, but maybe it's like how I was doing it through like social maneuvering. Maybe they're doing it more implicitly by like having her look again at something, or like certain things being like she can't find certain things because they were lies.
Pulling out the hidden things that the programming has.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Cool.
They are elite, so roll 2 dice, and we'll take the highest.
I'm re-rolling these teal dice. That's a 3.
That is a 3, so that is but one
Yeah.
segment.
Just one little tick. It's okay, Tekla. We'll get you eventually.
Does Anubis have a third downtime action they wish to take, or are they good?
We're good.
Okay. Does Cypher have a third downtime action they wish to take?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and use my calculating move on myself.
Mhm.
And I think I'm trying to think. What would be the most useful at this point? Because I'm stress free and. Okay, maybe come back to me. I knew I wanted the third one. I just don't know what yet.
Absolutely. Bashi, do you have a third?
No, unless somebody wants to donate secrets to me. No,
Does
I
not
have
seem
one.
like it. No, you did use the asset that you got last time. That was the Yakuza gang. Remember, you got the guys who were left in the area, and you used them. They were the ones that helped kind of set up the on the street distractions. Aurora, do you have a third downtime action you wish to take?
No, I'm okay. I'll keep it for a flashback.
Okay, all right. Yes.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go for an asset then.
Okay. So when you acquire an asset, you roll your tier. You guys have a tier of 1, so roll me 1d6.
Sure. That's a 6.
That is a 6, so you get a tier 2 asset that you can define when we go into mission time.
Awesome.
So that's downtime. We now go to everyday life. We'll check in with your day-to-day, with the complications of that, the challenges and things that are going on before we move to your mission. So Anubis, you've got this safe house now set up. Last time we saw you doing your handyman stuff, which led to a lot of yaks dying. So what do we see this time? Is it within the clan hold? Is it in the safe house? Is it more of your everyday? What do you think?
Well, I either leaning towards something within the clan or having a moment with Aurora, because I know that she's stressed about something, and I'd like, especially now that I have the safe house set up. So
let's do scene with Aurora.
Okay.
That gives us some cross communication. Do you think it takes place at your cell's safe house or on the clan site? Where do you think?
I was thinking at the cell safe house, because we don't know how much we trust the walls at the clan safe house right now. So
this place is secure. Again, it has that wonderful swim up bar that you talked about. You notice there's a big pool of water on the kitchen thing. It looks like the vase is cracked, and the water is spilled out. Aurora, what are you usually occupied with when you're decompressing in the cell safe house.
I'm washing my bike.
Okay. So you got a little bit of a garage down there. What does your
Yeah.
bike look like?
My bike looks like the bike from Akira.
Okay.
The red one.
All right.
Yeah, and it's always hand washed. Otherwise, you get the streaks, and
Okay.
that's no good. And it's got a pearl, so it's red, but then when there's no light, it looks almost black.
Okay.
So it's
Nice.
different from Akira in that way.
Slight but subtle difference.
Yeah, and the stickers are different. It's probably got like a bunch of different like punk bands and stuff like that over it.
Anubis, so you wanted to talk to...
Yeah, Nubis has come down to where the bikes are, has brought down the broken vase after having cleaned some stuff up, going and looking at it, figuring out about how to repair it, and sits it off in a little workbench area where maintains little things in the cell. And looks over at the bike, goes, giving her a wash again. You seem a little better than you've been, but something's been bothering you, I think.
Well, there's always something bothering me, you're right. But it's hard keeping things from the people that we care about in our actual lives, right?
Yeah, I could see. I mean, I've been part of the clan for a very long time. But yeah, if anything happened to any of those friends I have in the cover, and I thank you again for your help with that. Yeah, no, that'd be difficult, but you all did me a favor. Is there anything you need outside of clan business, outside of trying to figure out who's gone wrong and what's going on there?
Well, so I don't know. Did this score that we did affect my father's healthcare at all? I can't remember. I think it did a little bit or something, right?
Yeah, I think we've got a couple of ticks of the clock on suspicion. Your father walked away from that a little more nervous.
Right. And then part of my doing the mission was because I didn't like that they were taking advantage of old people, right? Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah. I'm like, maybe next time we get sent after an HMO.
Medical issues?
Yeah. Where are we allowed to talk about this kind of stuff?
Here, certainly. If you don't want to, I'm not going to pry, but...
Well, my father's on his last legs, and it's expensive treatments. He's been on them for a long time, and I can't help but feel like with what we do, it seems like a little bit of an injustice that I can't even provide for my father in his last days.
Do you want me to see... as you've noticed, there's something different about me, and there's others like me that there's something different about. Do you want us to see if we can do anything for him? Indirectly. Not saying it's tied to you, but to ensure his health, his safety. See if we can at least.
Anything you could do would put me in your debt.
Well, I feel that I'm repaying the debt for helping those friends of mine, so let's call it just a balance of the books instead of a ledger of who owes who. So yes, no, I'll look into that. Now, I will ask, how far do you want us to go to help him?
What does that mean?
as he has the as he goes to reach over for the vase, and you see that his arm obviously bends the wrong way to pick it up.
Okay.
And then sets it back down. It's like, I am entirely my own person, but I'm not entirely like the average person. I want to know where the line is to try to help you. Because I don't want to go over it and then make the situation worse for you.
Yeah. I mean, as long as we can keep this quiet, I don't think the clan would look wisely on. I think they're going to scrutinize anything that happens with my father in relation to me, and
Okay.
that would just make things worse.
All right. Well, I will look into it. We'll see what my fellows can do. And worst case scenario, we won't be able to do much, or we may have to do something slightly involved. But like I said, I'm very appreciative for the help you gave and how much you got into the middle of it there, and the remnants you left in the club were wonderful. So if so, I really want to make sure I pay you back for all those kindnesses. So we'll look into it, and we'll go from there. And is there anything else troubling you you'd like resolved? I feel that we all need to trust each other here, since we can no longer trust the clan right now.
No, I think that's the only thing weighing on me.
All right, very good. Well, I will continue doing the maintenance and fixing the lighting on the bar that you wanted, and we'll go and and if you need anything else, let me know. But I'm going to try to make this feel a little bit more comfortable for everyone.
Thank you. I think I sent like a quick text to Bashi, and I'm like, we need to cook more often.
And as I go away, I send a contact to my friend, going, just some light details, going, we need to see what medically we can do for this person, and perhaps we might have to make them be someone else in the process, but we'll see where we go from there.
Seems like a good long-term project.
Mm-hmm.
Let's come to Cypher.
Yeah. Okay. So I know last time the big pull wasn't too, like, it was kind of in the personal life, but it was like my cover. So
Yeah.
like, I'm
Do we
trying to figure
continue
out.
there, or do we want to do something with what you do in the clan, or something else?
I'm not sure, because one of the things that I've been realizing over the past couple of times is that I've been so heavily leaning into like which memories are my own and which are those that have kind of been overlaid. And so I'm trying to figure out, like, and boil down who Cypher is underneath all of that, like even underneath the cover and everything. And so I'm not quite sure where to go.
Let me ask you this, Cypher.
Sure.
Because you do go around and you operate within the clan. You also have these cover identities. What is your reaction when Cypher, when you're going around and you see someone in the clan that you know? They're not, like you, they haven't figured out what's wrong, but there's someone that you know strongly. And you go up to speak to them. What's your relationship to them? What is it that is your feeling? Is it something romantic? Is it mentor? Is it student? What do you imagine that is?
I think so I think it actually might have been romantic, but I think there's an element of that kind of started to disappear when I realized the truth of things. And then I think with the overlays that I have, I've become a little bit over time less and less keen towards my own emotions, kind of trying to block that out and go, that's not going to help anyone.
Does that block survive the fact that when you're talking to this person that you've known for years, they clearly don't know who you are? Then they kind of stop and they're like, I'm sorry, do I know you?
No, perhaps not. I'm sorry. You just reminded me of someone. out of character. I'm trying to decide whether I use my real name or my cover identity or what.
I know.
Oh God. Screw it. I'm Cypher.
And she nods and she says, "All right." She says her name, Cleome.
Okay.
And you see her look, and you know that she's gonna go look your name up, and she's like, "You're a little worried because it may be, if you're lucky, she won't remember anything."
I think the worrying part is that there's some small part of me deep down that wants her to remember anyways.
Oh yeah.
And that's even worse because, like, yeah, the clan will remember that. Thanks. I knew that. Why do you think I'm giving myself more conflict resolution skills? No, I don't have those. Oh God. I mean, yeah. I think actually what I'm gonna say as she kind of looks at me funny is just go, sorry, I'm Cypher to my friends. I'm sorry. I'm no one important.
She pauses in that way that maybe there's a more significant pause than you would expect, and then she goes, she gives you the bow and heads on.
Yeah. Oh crap.
Let's come to Bashi.
Anubis, are you often at this safe house for genocolonists? Maybe we'll call them.
Now that it's been established, yes, I'm, spending, it's basically splitting time 3 ways, cover clan, our safe house, and the genocolonist safe house.
Good thing you have the metabolism to keep up with all that. I kind of want to stop by. Maybe I bring water. I don't think I have it in me to lug pounds of meat, but maybe some like a gallon or something.
Oh,
right?
good.
Or not a gallon. Wait, I don't know, a big thing. Whatever the size of those are. One large.
One Shinobi leader.
One Shinobi leader.
Welcome. It's good to see you.
You too, Anubis. This is quite the operation you've got set up here.
One part for people like me, one part for if our current safe house falls, we have some place to fall back to. I couldn't find a place with a pool for everyone, but we are near the water.
Oh yes, plans within plans. Everything is everything is in layers, isn't it? Feels like we just peeled back a layer. Now we have to make our own.
Yes. Well, they did teach us that.
That's true. Anubis, I didn't know who to bring this up with, but I thought maybe you would have some insights with your genocolony. But I was wondering if you shared my worries about Cypher. They seem to be becoming a little blurry recently.
Yeah, voices becoming dissonant. Too many minds without the space set aside, and yeah, I'm concerned. I haven't gotten worried yet, but definitely keeping an eye open.
Well, perhaps I won't jump to conclusions then, but maybe sooner rather than later we should look into a way outside of the clan. I don't know if they can be trusted since they're the ones who gave the overlay.
Well, for all we know, they have some deep overlay in there that if they're worried.
Anubis. Layers. More layers.
Well, it's an ecology. There are the things that get eaten and the things that eat and the things that eat the things that get eaten. And it's all levels, and then you just have to be careful, like the bacteria, and find your opening. And then you can consume from within.
Anubis, you can't eat Cypher.
I wasn't going to eat Cypher. I was going to
Okay.
eat the rot out of the clan.
Okay. Sorry, I just
Yeah.
needed to make sure, you know.
Sorry. I went over to the longer plan versus the more short-term plan of making sure Cypher is okay.
You know I'm better at the short term.
Fair enough. But we should definitely look into seeing if there's memory surgeon or something like that. See if there's a break in there, or if this is just normal stress, and it'll balance on its own.
Yeah.
But somebody outside the clan, but at the same time, someone we trust who might not walk off with important information.
Absolutely. Maybe I'll follow up with Aurora. Perhaps she knows something with her father's business and memories and things.
Yeah, her father's business memories. Well, and also she may know somebody who's outside the structure since she's not from here. She might be able to find somebody who's removed just because they're an outsider, and that might be who we need.
Very true.
Would you like to stay? A couple of us are going to have a meeting here in a moment. You're more than welcome. If you don't want to, I understand.
I have a question at the player level. Is there like a smell in the stakehold?
Yeah, there's definitely kind of a earthy, but at the same time amniotic smell.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll see. Bashi by this point has I think drawn up their collar in front of their mouth, and Bashi just says, I think I'd better get back. I have to start dinner.
All right. Do you want me to bring the fishmonger just down the way? Do you want me to bring anything?
That would be wonderful.
All right. Very good. I'll be by shortly.
Now we know why Aurora has the high collar. So Aurora, what about you?
I either want to be doing another group cooking thing or visiting my dad. Something like that.
Which one would you prefer?
I think
a bento to your father.
What?
Take a bento to your father.
Yeah. I think that I'm still a little bit. Yeah, I think I'll be cooking as a thank you after the conversation, but also I think I'm still a little worried that my father's gonna see through me if we have another frank conversation.
Let me ask you this: we kind of know, we have a sense that Kitsune knows how to cook, has some sophisticated skills. Certainly, that there's been some suggestion of that. What is Aurora's cooking food preparation skills like? Are they sophisticated? Are they baseline? Are they basic? What do you think?
I think she's a pretty good cook, but it's completely different cuisine. Probably let's go French, butter. Okay. Everyone's like, what? This is rich.
So rich, so creamy, so heavy.
Yeah.
So
really
what kind of things do you fix then?
Do I? Yeah, it'd be easier if I knew more about French cuisine.
Are you doing everything's in sauces? Are you doing like chicken or beef or are you doing food vat meat that's been prepared with a béarnaise sauce? That kind of thing.
Yeah, probably something cheap like that after we don't have too many secrets left. Probably cheap stuff that I've tried to yeah, I think it just hides the cheap taste with all of the sauce. Lots of different sauces like that, and really, really big meals that are really filling.
Does this kind of meal include alcohol? or is that not a
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it sake? Is it ale? Is it beer? Is it rice wine? Is it wine?
Maybe it's cheap imported stuff that reminds me of home after I got all that luxury stuff. So maybe
Okay.
some more Western style stuff the like vodka and stuff like that. I think I'm picturing her from maybe like Netherlands or something like that, but I don't really know what they drink there. So
Okay.
that stuff.
A clear, relatively tasteless liquor that's moderately high
Or
alcohol content.
well, they're pretty big on beer. So
Yeah.
maybe beer actually. Yeah, maybe some decent imported beer.
Okay. And I imagine that there are ninja microbrewers, so
Yeah.
probably that kind of thing. And might be even ninja microbrewer Geno colonies. Who knows? So yeah. And what is it that you want to convey with the meal?
Mostly gratitude, I think, to Anubis. But I also like the idea of her maybe unconsciously trying to fill the void of family by, projecting it onto these people too. Like it might have been something that she had as a kid with her father that is not possible now, and it's being like transferred over.
And Anubis, what's your take on this kind of food? Is this richness to your taste? Do you still have taste? What's that like?
It still has taste. At one level, it's the wow, this is extremely rich, and then the rest of me is going, this is high calorie. This is fantastic.
It's burning and converting it right away, I assume.
Yep. Actually, without drinking, noticing Anubis looks just a little warmer. Just automatically.
Cypher, what's your take on this?
Cypher really, really enjoys it. He's also more concerned with whether or not people are watching him eat. I think he's actually a little self-conscious about it and doesn't want to say anything. But he's enjoying it. He thinks it's great.
Okay. And Bashi? Do you dig this kind of food?
No. I think I say
it's so heavy and it's so filled with industrial dairy.
Yeah. Aurora, surely something lighter and a little more refined in quality would have been just as good.
I wanted to share my other friends' complex carbohydrates with you.
They're very interesting company.
Yeah, it's just something that you get to used to, like feta cheese, and I sprinkle that on
Onto my plate?
onto your plate. Yeah.
I think as you do it, before that first feta chunk hits, I blow them away with my psychic blast. I just push them off my plate.
And I think I instinctively just kind of like move my plate to catch the feta before it even hits the ground. And I'm just like, oh, thanks. And then I just keep eating.
I think at that, I'll glance at Cypher, but then I want to bring it up with Aurora and say, Aurora, I know you collect a lot of just a plane going over. I know you collect a lot of fine works, things that are important to people. And I'm wondering if perhaps maybe where this food comes from, gesturing sort of dismissively over my plate. Do you know, is there any way to help people just remember things or forget things?
And I think Cypher has been chewing and just stops mid-chew. And it's not at all hidden. It's one of the few times he's not even trying to hide, and he just kind of looks at Bashi Please tell me you're not talking about me without even naming me.
I think
But
probably
he doesn't
spell.
say anything. He just gives you a look like,
Aurora?
I think for most people, nostalgia is rooted in their childhood and their olfactory.
So we have to remove the sense of smell?
Now you have to invoke it.
Oh.
It's a powerful catalyst for memory,
Interesting.
as far as I know.
Wait, what are we eating again? Sorry.
Pasta.
Oh, pasta. Okay. I'll take I'll cut a noodle and take a delicate bite of whatever noodle as I ponder this.
Get that gnocchi.
We're going to take our 5-minute break here. And when we come back, we're going to shift to mission mode. So we will be back for that.
Okie dokie.
I'm gonna figure out how to do a high-speed heist.
This is about the point of suggesting medical supply heist.
Ooh, that's good. Mm-hmm.
What was that bit again?
And this is about the point of recommending a medical supply heist without indicating why.
Oh, I guess there are numerous reasons there could be.
Yeah. And I think whatever because of this, but at the end of it, I think Aurora is like, okay, now who wants to do karaoke? And then it like goes silent and she's like, too soon?
We lost a good doppelganger that day.
You could say the room went dead silent.
Do you usually joke, Cypher?
Must
I
be in
don't
the
think
medical.
Cypher was joking.
Yeah, I was going to say, must be in the medical overlay.
So you get called by your cell leader, Sai. And Sai calls you in, gives you that code that says you need to scramble fast to meet with her. That what is going on is time sensitive. And we get probably a montage of you, trying not to draw attention, but heading to go and speak with her. And when you arrive, she says, approximately 75 minutes ago, we intercepted a transmission from a Shiroma Zaibatsu corporate transmission line. In that line, it used a code word that sent red flags in the clan, Okataru. We don't know what that means, but it triggered alarm bells. We were able to delay that signal going up through the clan for the moment, but it's clearly something that has significance to the clan as a whole. We don't know what it represents, if it's a secret, if it's a person, what. 53 minutes ago, from the Shiroma arcology, 3 separate high security transports left simultaneously. We don't know, but we are suspecting that 2 of those are decoys and 1 actually has whatever this is. We need you to get that and bring it back, and be aware that there may be Zaibatsu interference, or if other clans have picked this up, there may be other clan interference. Can you do that? I do not hear an answer.
Yes.
Of course we can, Sai.
She says, here was the last known positions. They're clearly working with some bafflers, and they're moving in different routes, but here is the info that we have. And she will hand you essentially the info that they have and say, good luck. So we'll do just a little bit of groundwork. I'm assuming this is on the fly. Essentially, you are getting information even as you're getting bikes ready, even as you're mapping things out, even as you're on the move. This is going on. So what are you doing to give yourselves an edge, to limit the approach, to determine information? What do you think you would do? Let's start with, and don't forget all of your various contacts and friends that you have that you can call on them, including your cell contact and allies. So let's go in the order we've been using, since I like to stick with the order for tonight. So Anubis, I'm going to start with you.
All right. I'm going to try contacting my friend Inan to see, who's the incident cleaner, to try to get a sense as to when we've had interactions with their security, anything like that, to just try to work with him to try to figure out if there's any kind of tell that between he and I that we can figure out which vehicle to hit.
All right. So let's have you roll insinuate here.
Okay. Oof. Okay, that's a 2. I think this is worth spending the secret on.
Okay. So let me look at the gather info thing. Second. Where is it? I've got a little chart here. I don't have to look there. I can go here. Sorry, hang on one sec. So you want to raise the result level up by 1?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and spend that. Essentially, he goes and gets to as much data as he can. Keeping in mind that there's no network, that each of these neighborhoods have their own computers, and maybe there are some overhead scanners and things like that, and there are a few things that work on Wi-Fi. So he's having to pull down data and grab things, and he's running what he can from the kit that the clan has on the Shiroma, and he will say the third vehicle, the one that left last, I've ident a couple of people in the like pacer trucks, and they're low level, they're grunts.
Okay.
The third convoy is not legit. That's
Okay.
definitely one that they've filled out with some extra faces. And so you'll be able to cut that thing down to 2 convoys. Even as it's moving, even as you don't know where it's headed, how long it's going to take for it to get there. But imagine that does your bike look any different? Is it a Curious style bike, or is it bigger? Is it, what do you think?
It's set up to look deceptively nondescript. So it looks like, a lower end salaryman sort of vehicle sort of thing, but it's got the same kind of motor and everything else that everybody else has. So when he has to, he can gun it. But otherwise, it's like, I'm just using this to get to work.
Yeah, we hear the Akira when Fraser goes by, and then it's as you come by. Get different theme music's going, but yeah, you can blend in. So what are you doing, Cypher?
So I'm considering either one of 2 things. One, I go to my lorekeeper ally and see if there's anything that I can gain from that type of thing, or I do have that asset I got with my last downtime move.
Sure.
I'm thinking probably the asset, because that seems like it'll apply more to the situation.
Sure. What do you want to do with the asset?
Well, so I've got a tier 2 asset, and I guess I haven't used an asset before. I have a vague idea of what it does, but
you can use it to create a cohort, to create a service, to create like a vehicle. You can use it for any of those things. You could decide that this is what you got ahead of time.
So could I possibly use that asset then to basically deck my bike out in stealth mode?
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially, you can spend that asset, and we will say that you have essentially a cloak that you can activate when you need to.
Yeah.
That seem fair?
Yeah, that does.
So you're probably catching up to the group because you had to take a little bit more time to get that fitted out. Anything distinctive about your bike?
So I think that probably got my club logo on it. Just in case anyone like sees it go by, they're like, "Oh, okay, cool. That's clearly not trying to hide anything."
not a ninja. Okay, all right.
Right. Oh, well, if it's not a ninja, then who cares? Whereas meanwhile, I'm like, I've literally just outfitted my bike with the latest in stealth. So now I'm like, ninja? Maybe not. Also, where am I? Who knows?
Fair enough. Let's come to Bashi. Bashi, what are you doing? Even as you kind of hauling to try and get on the road and you're contacting people, what's going on?
Yeah, I think as I'm loading up on my bike, I'm attaching little like prayer what they're called. Strip, like the strips of paper.
Prayer strips?
Yeah, prayer strips. I'm attaching those to everyone's bikes because I'm going to beseech the Kami Katsumi Lost for a blessing.
Okay. And what does Katsumi Lost look like when you call on her to manifest?
I think Katsumi Lost. I think we talked about Katsumi Lost as like the Kami of silhouettes. So I think maybe she just appears in shadows and is kind of like at the periphery of your eyes. Like you can't really like look directly at her, but you can see this figure in like the dim darkness.
And you see that nano cloud coalesce, and it's clearly doing something, refracting the air or something that makes it hard to look at. And she says, "So, what is it that you want, Bashi?"
We don't have much time.
Are you pushing me? Are you telling me to do something faster than you should?
Never, Katsumi. I speak out of turn. I'm merely stressed at my own failings in life.
For mortal flesh, it will always be that way.
I fear it is true, Katsumi. If I could ask you for a favor.
You could.
We are in pursuit of some targets, and I would like them to disappear for everyone but us, so no one can interfere.
I don't know if they are on the move. I don't know if I can do that.
If we stop them, can you?
If you stop one of the targets, then I will come and I will clear the area for you. I will return them to dust in the area.
Oh man, I'm gonna make that deal.
I will see you. Call me when you call me.
Yep, and I will.
And Aurora, what are you doing?
I want to also try to see which is the correct truck.
How would you do that?
I would see if...
With my mind.
Yeah, I use the power of knowledge. I would try to... maybe by the weight of the trucks. Maybe the legit thing would be heavier or something like that than the other one. Maybe they have to go
The
through way
thing is, you
stops.
don't know what it is it's transporting.
I'll just say quality is always heavier. I go for the heaviest. I play the odds. Maybe I try to see what is in the trucks then by seeing if they have to file some kind of manifest or something. If they're transporting through the city, they might have to file something.
Interesting. So what do you think? Do you think that's study, or do you think you're going and talking to someone? Let's look at it this way. Let's actually look at your character. You've got aim at like 3,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So let's. Is there a way to leverage that for your method to figure out?
I threatened the clerk with a gun for a manifest or something like that. I could just be like, I'm gonna shoot you.
It's certainly so. Essentially, you're going to try and race ahead and track down a road warden,
Sure, that sounds cool.
see if you can get any kind of info or details from them through base threats. All right, let's have you roll aim. I assume that it starts with a few well placed shots from a needler and then following up.
Yeah. The next one goes in your dome. Okay, so 3 dice. Shazam. 6.
6. So you will ride up. I mean, because you're tracking the paths of these two, and you like run it and find essentially where the closest of these road warden paths it had to pass through, because they're moving through fast, so something had to have come down to them, some corporate bribe or something. And what is the scene with the poor hapless bureaucrat? What do we see on screen you doing?
If it's a bureaucrat, maybe they're in like a posh limo thing, and this is a little terrible, but maybe I just take the limo by surprise and shoot out the tire, and it like flips, and like all these people are like freaking, and there's like slow motion Judge Dredd glass going all over the place and stuff, and then like in the next second, I just like open the door and like point a gun at them, and I'm like, you better tell me what I want to know, that kind of thing.
And they you know, you've got it on them. You've gone heavy and loud. So we'll keep that in mind for later. But most importantly, yeah, you've got that down on them, and they're like, they start rattling off information. What is the key detail that they give you that tells you that one of the 2 convoys is the legit target?
Without knowing what's in it, maybe it gives off some sort of particular signature that you can scan for that you wouldn't typically program into a thing, like like a chemical signature or something like that.
Yeah, they mention, the guy mentions that the trucks had a group of sword saints on each of them. And sword saints use psychically manifested swords. And you know that they give off a particular kind of N-ray radiation. And so you are able to determine which one has the higher, rad count. And it's a gamble, but you're pretty sure that it is that middle convoy. Seem fair?
Yeah. Dirty head energy.
Okay. Now, do we want to go to the engagement roll, or do you want another question or setup before we go?
Let's go for it.
Okay, so tell me, what is your method of entry? Let me describe what we've got here. The convoy is not small. These are big, massive, in the center, big, massive armored truck, a la Damnation Alley, if you've ever seen that. Just a big, massive, heavily armored, high-tech semi-trailer. There are mounts on top for guns, and it is flanked front and back by, in each case, a pacer car and a forward observer car, and then a pack of cyber samurai on bikes. So, what is your method of entry? What do you think, Bashi?
I think we either have a spot where we're going to intercept them and like try and stop them and like take it by force, or we're going to travel along with them and try and pick them off en route.
So it definitely is an assault.
Okay.
So that makes sense to me. What is your like the point at which you're targeting? Point of attack, as the book puts it. Yes, the weakest point, but how about you identify that for me there?
Maybe there's like a,
Mr. Simons.
maybe there's like a one-way street or something that we catch them in.
So you get it set up so that you're closing down some of the routes, and there is a point at which you get them in, a place where they can't turn around. Like normally they would knock through things, but where it's a little more barriered and reinforced, and you will get that set. So let's do the engagement roll. So is this plan bold and daring? Yes, I would definitely say. Okay. It's not particularly complex or contingent on many factors. However, you're assaulting a group that is fortified. So we go from 2 dice down to 1 dice. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight?
What about my weapon maker?
Okay. What did they do? How did they help you?
They gave me a weapon that's real good against the psychic dives.
Okay.
Or something like that. I know. They give me a couple rounds of something that would disable like EMP shots or whatever that would disable the truck.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Take out the truck and take out cybernetics, that kind of thing. Absolutely. So we'll give you a die for that. Anything else that you would consider a major advantage?
No. They're more like darts that only affect trucks.
No.
If it's possible to layer on more than one ally suggestion, I was thinking there was a possibility that I could have gotten a blueprint of the vehicle from my lorekeeper ally.
That makes sense.
So that although it's fortified, it has ways in.
So we're up to 2 dice, goes to 3 dice. And there's a reason it goes down 1 more die. So we're at 2 dice for the engagement roll. So, Owen, roll me 2 dice for the engagement roll.
Oh wait, did we take that move? Oh no, we didn't take the move. That gives us more engagement.
No.
It's a 6.
It is a
Jared.
6. So truck is rolling along. We've got, you see those samurai go past the camera. They're running in files along the side. We've got front and back cars, and you guys have the jump. Essentially, you get a chance to act, to start to neutralize some of the opposition here, before the truck gets much further. You've got a small line where you've got a controlled situation. Who is there a leader amongst the four of you? Aurora, do you think you're the leader?
For us all plans, maybe.
Fair enough. So Aurora, who goes first?
I go first.
Okay, what do you do, Aurora? Where are you and what happens?
So what happens is they're driving through this location, and I'm on my Akira style bike, and just to get in front of them, I do a drift underneath the truck, of course.
Okay.
And then I kick it into high gear, and what happens is I go super fast. Like at first they're like, "Oh shit, there's this cycle that's coming after us," but I blow past them and they're like, "Oh, guess it was nothing." But then I turn around and I go after them, like I start like as if I'm about to ram them, and then I matrix jump off of the bike and shoot the darts at the thing to try to disable the truck.
Okay, so that strikes me as surprise. If you're doing the whole slide under, that seems the emphasis, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so boom, out. We see you come out from a side alley, hit, drift under the big truck, spin it around on the tire, kick it up, comes back at them, and then the dart poof, right in the front plate.
Yeah, as I'm jumping at them, like slow motion.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is controlled, low effect, because it is an armored truck.
Right. But the weapon's designed to get them. The EMP.
The weapon is designed to get them, which is why I'm giving you low effect to be able to affect them at all.
I'll push myself for normal effect.
Okay.
Can I help?
Yeah. You can assist. How are you assisting Tokyo Drift Boy?
I think right as he does the flip, that's when the blueprint fully downloads.
Nice. So you've got normal effect, controlled environment.
And 2 dice?
And do you want to, with the assist, you can take it up to then 2 dice, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Oh boy. Yeah, 5. Double 5. Mini crit.
It's not a mini crit. That is not a mini crit. So I think this will hit, and it's going to slow the truck. It's not going to bring it to a halt, but it's going to slow it.
Can I resist that consequence?
Is it reduced effects? You can resist that? I think so. Yes. So that's probably a strike for the resist.
Awesome. Okay. Ooh, I got 3 dice in there.
Yeah.
Good. Maybe. Oh, so I take the highest 4.
Take the highest 4. So you take 2 stress.
Getting up there already.
So you will hit it, and it will do that thing where it shuts down the engine. They're going to have to reboot the whole thing to get it back up. So you've got a bigger window of opportunity here. They're still moving, of course, but you've also probably made the internal sensors blind. Who goes next after you, Fraser?
That's a good question. Maybe Somebody who has a good idea, like they like Peter.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Cypher giggled. It's on them.
Cypher. The truck is starting to slow down. We've still got the escort vehicles. They've now been alerted that this is going on.
Okay. Let's see.
So the opposition forces are the big armored truck, the two cars at front and back, and then the two samurai bike gangs on either side.
Okay. So, do I have any extra benefit for the fact that my vehicle right now is extra stealthy?
Well, yeah, I'm assuming you can use. I'm assuming it's not on right now, that you can use it to add to your surprise there.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Oh,
cool.
everybody choose their loadout, by the way.
Yep. I had to go back and do that. I made sure this time. Went with a
Okay.
normal loadout.
All right.
Okay, so I think then I'm gonna try going after. Okay, either the. Okay. I got. I'm gonna go after either the either the biker gangs or the armored trucks. Does anyone have a personal preference, or should I just kind of like? I feel like I'll be able to take out the biker gangs easier, so I think I'll go ahead.
So you'll choose one of the pairs. Again, they're on bikes that are even more lightweight. You know, they're made for movability. They're mostly sort of tubes and things, and they're braced down in that. They're cybered up. They've got implanted armor plates. They've got both needlers and vibro katanas, and they can do that Batman style stop, spin, come back at you reverse thing. They can go either direction. So tell me how you want to take out one of these groups.
Well, man, these groups sound tiresome, so I'm going to take out their tires.
Okay. How are you doing that?
So I think I'll go ahead and use a unique weapon that's part of my maybe this isn't part of the stealth thing, but it's part of the bike itself. That basically what I want to do is kind of pull up alongside them and go ahead of them, like I'm just kind of going along the road, not really minding my business, or minding my business, and then just when I get in front of them, basically just drop a whole load of like caltrops.
That seems fair. So unique weapon. I think we're right now risky, and effect will go limited up to standard between the cloak and the unique weapons. So risky standard right now.
Okay.
Risky meaning the possible consequences, and standard meaning standard effect. You might be able to do some serious damage to these guys.
Okay.
And that's probably sabotage, right?
Yeah, probably. But
Are you going to compensate?
yeah, I've already used it once. I gotta be really careful how many times I use that. This could come up really badly. But yeah, screw it. I need to make sure.
Yeah, you're riding a motorcycle you're riding a cloaked motorcycle into a pack of motorbike riding cyber samurai. So better go big.
Yeah, go big. So I'll go for the compensate, and I'll go 3 dice.
3 dice, risky, standard effect.
Okay. yeah, I think that's about all I can do. Anyone else want to help, or if I'm on my own, that's cool. I'm taking a quick survey before I got okay. All right.
I'll give you a die.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
take the stress and give you a die.
Cool. Thank you.
So you're kind of riding interference on that?
Yeah, that's kind of how it's looking. Is I'm thinking that my bit is drawing their attention when we get to me because I'm not going to be subtle.
Absolutely. So is that 4 dice?
Yes.
Okay. So 4 dice, risky standard.
Okay. Yeah. I'll take it. Okay. And then let's just do that. That's a 6.
That is a 6. So you will come down in the middle of them, and what is unique about these caltrops?
Basically, when I kind of got as much information as I could have, I realized that the tires that they're using on their bikes are actually a little bit more reinforced, just to make sure for something like this. So
Metal, solid, yeah.
Yeah. So what makes them unique is that they're both heavily reinforced, and it's not that like the sharp points are what you need to worry about. It's that the minute that the sharp points make contact with anything metallic like that, they explode.
Okay, so we will see them hit that. We see the shot of you throwing out, and of course they're probably in like neon blue because that's the way you would do it in a movie. And a couple of them evade, and then the ones that didn't see them drop hit them. And like of the pack of 6, like 4 of them are just the bikes. Just we see them lift up into the air, and they are sent flying. And that particular gang is crippled with that set that's over there, and you kind of and you are untouched because you're bad.
Yeah.
Who goes after Cypher, Fraser?
Let's go big plans in case those are subtler.
Okay, so that's Bashi.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so now I have my order. So Bashi, what are you doing? We see that explosion go off. We see the truck starting to slow down. Still got a lot. It is a target-rich environment.
It sure is. I think as I'm driving in, at some points, I'm going to dismount in an interestingly elegant way where I just top off my bike because I'm driving it with my mind, right?
Right.
But over the meta network, I'm going to ping in with everybody in the middle of all of this and ask, which car? Front or middle? Do we know?
The truck is the biggest thing.
Oh, I see. And is that the one we're getting the like radiation, the heavy radiation from?
Probably the Sword Saints are probably sitting in there.
Okay. All right. Well, then what I'm going to do, I want to evade these little conflicts and basically like jump up onto the truck and then call in Katsumi.
All right. Let's have you roll surprise to get up on this truck.
Okay, yes, I like that. Is there a devil's bargain in you're thinking of?
Yeah, I think Katsumi will do it even bigger than you're afraid.
Oh man.
I'll give you 3 dice then.
I know, that's good. You know how I like a devil's bargain too.
I know.
I gotta do it. I can't say no.
Let's have you roll surprise.
I'm also willing to help.
Interesting. How do you help?
Yeah, how would you help with the summoning?
The summoning part. Never mind.
Well, actually, if you want to help him, because it's all kind of the jump up on thing. So yeah.
Basically, my idea is that I actually had it planned where the explosions from the caltrops lined up so that they give you a little extra push to jump up.
I love it.
Yeah, that's
So
funny.
mark a stress, and you're at 4 dice. Risky,
Okay.
standard.
Risky standard. Okay. All right. Reroll. I got a 5.
You got a 5. And I should have meant to do something. You guys rolled a 6 on a risky thing, so you have 1 gambit in your bank. So, Bashi, you will leap up onto that. But there are some autonomous security measures up on top of this thing. The EMP has hit the main cab, and the thing is slowing down. But there's some autonomous security things, and you will roll through a laser field for 2 damage.
I'm gonna resist.
Okay.
Oh. How do I resist?
So I think that's probably strike for resisting.
Yeah, it sounds very physical. How much? I have 2. 2. I think maybe at the last second, right? I'm gonna try and do some. Oh, I got a 6. Do some Catherine Zeta-Jones.
So you're just going to take 1 harm, unless you have armor that you want to mark.
Yeah, I should mark armor. I'm gonna mark
Okay.
armor. There we go. All right. And then there's no stress, right? Because it's 6 minus.
No stress. Look at that. So you roll up and you call out to Kasumi Loss, and she goes, by your command. And it's like a hot desert wind that rolls down. And you're in this neighborhood, right? That you're going through. You've got this kind of one-way street. There are buildings and shops around, noodle shops and stuff. And there is a wash of the nano cloud as it, clearly she's kind of was with you, and it bursts out, and you will see the buildings fall like sand as she reduces to base matter everything within a 3-block radius. Just rolls out. And there's just this howling wind of dust and matter. There are no screams. There's no collapse. It's just gone.
Is it just us in the truck now?
It's you, the truck, the bikes, and the cars, but there's no one around to provide them support. There's no place for them to hide. There are no civilians nearby either.
I won't think about that.
That's probably a good idea. Anubis.
All right. Well, my plan just shifted because now I have no cover. I have no high ground. So instead, just going to pull up, reach down, pull my sniper rifle that strangely you should have seen it, but you didn't see it, and the way the bike's put together.
Absolutely.
Pulls up his sniper rifle. It looks like a stylized bony arm with the barrel at the end of the finger on a scope on it, and I'm gonna fire on the other biker gang to take them out.
Okay. So right now we're at risky, low effect.
Okay, I
The
have
unique
does that,
is letting you affect the gang.
and I have fiery, which means my attack gains potency.
Okay, so right now we're at risky, standard effect.
All right. What would a devil's bargain look like?
Well, I think the devil's bargain would be that we've got that pacer car, and it would swing and knock you off your bike.
I'll take that. I'll
Okay.
take that. And I'm going to be so focused, I'm willing to push it to desperate and great effect.
That seems like a reasonable thing to do.
All right.
So go ahead and roll with aim, I believe, right?
And that's a 5.
That is a 5. So that is a badly mixed success. So the good news is you get to mark XP on strike.
Mm-hmm.
And you do essentially lay into them with this. But when that car spins and hits you, it is going to send you and pin you down. Like it comes and it's going to like actually pierce you and kind of pin you to the ground, and you're going to take damage. Those are the two consequences.
Okay.
Do you want to resist either of those?
The damage.
Okay. So you'll be taking 2 harm. Go ahead and roll strike to resist.
Okay, that is a 4.
So you take 2 stress,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll take 1 harm unless you want to mark armor.
I'm marking armor.
Okay. Aurora. We see that blitz as Anubis takes out the other side of the samurai and then gets sent flying off, and you'll see the bike comes down on him, and just like you can see like the exhaust thing go through him and pin him into the ground. So we've got the truck that's still stopping, the 2 cars, and just a couple of these samurai on bikes that are left. What are you doing, Aurora?
Well, I think Bashi wants to protect the other consequence, maybe. Is that right?
Yeah, sorry, to push back on that, or like to go back to that. I just couldn't remember if you
sure,
can protect.
absolutely. Let me see how protect works. It has been a while since that. Protect.
I think I just roll instead, right? Like I take 6 and then like I make the resistance roll.
Yeah, you suffer it instead of them. You may roll to resist it as normal.
Okay, yeah, because I would love to help out Anubis so they
So
don't
how
get
do you stop Anubis from getting pinned
impaled.
through into the ground?
It's always psychic powers, I think, right? Like as this thing is coming to pin down Anubis, I want to like stop it and like maybe shove it just a bit so its trajectory gets thrown off.
That seems great. Let's have you roll to resist then.
Okay. Do you want me to use source? Does that match up?
I
with
think it
psychic
makes
stuff?
sense to use source.
As ironically my weakest resistance. Reroll. Oh, I got a 6. I'm blessed today.
Hashtag blessed. Hashtag blessed ninja. All right. Yeah. So flips it away. Your bike is still out since that was the devil's bargain. But it does not like impede your movement any further there. Aurora.
So I've continued my slow motion jump as these events occur. And I'd like to land on top of the vehicle and plant a demolition charge that will blow open the top of it so that we can get up in there.
So what equipment are you using for this?
I'm using demolition tools, cutters, bombs, acids.
Perfect. So that sounds like sabotage to do that?
That sounds right. I don't have any of that. So I'm going to push myself for a die.
Okay.
Do you want help?
Yes, please.
Because now he's at a die.
Yes, I will gladly help. You're just sticking these charges on there.
Which
Think
and
maybe-
you're up there too. So
I know. It's a good place to help. I'm thinking maybe there's a way. I'm just always about my psychic powers. Maybe there's a way I can like weaken the top of the car so the demolition's more effective.
yeah, like that makes sense to me. You're kind of buckling it as he's planning the charges. Or she, Aurora. That gives you another die. Look, 2 dice. Desperate, standard.
Desperate. I like that. Desperate. Oh, is there a devil's bargain? Oh wait, I pushed myself, right? Yeah, so never mind.
You already pushed yourself, yeah.
I got a 5.
That is a 5. So I think that, yes, you will blow open the top of this. But that's also the moment that these sword saints come flying out, leaping out. You can see them controlling their flight, and they're going to get the jump on you right now, taking advantage of that. Would you like to resist that?
No, I only have 3 stress left.
Okay.
But someone could protect me.
I can't believe I'm about to do this. I would like to protect Aurora.
All right. How are you stopping? How are you slowing these sword saints from leaping up and getting the edge on Aurora and Bashi?
Oh my god. So, I think I'm gonna try and screw it. I'm gonna just go for it. No, I'm not gonna meme him to death. That doesn't. Oh, I just understood. Okay, yeah. No, sorry. It took me a second because out of context, it just sounds, I don't know, internet speak. But then I realized. No. But I think that in all the commotion and everything, I see that happen, and basically, I want to floor my bike and then fling myself off it in the direction of the like where the truck is, in the hopes that my bike will collide with the truck, and then I am trying to basically just kind of like duck and like cover, so I can just kind of like cover Aurora as I'm like flying through the air.
Absolutely. So let's have you roll. I think that's going to be strike to do that amazing thing.
Great. I can't believe I'm going to do this. I'm going to use my last compensate.
Well, actually, you can't use compensate for this
Great.
because it's a resistance.
I still use it then. I save it for later, but
Yes.
that means then I have 1 dice.
It could work out.
It could. I don't see it working out. But, you know, here's hoping. That's a 5.
Damn you guys. So 1 stress, and we see you hit, and here's the cool thing. Let's say that hits those 2 samurai that were left, like you bank it off of them, use that to leap up and push Aurora and Bashi back, such that these psychic blade wielding sword saints don't immediately fall on them like butchers. And now all 3 of you are on top of what's left of the top of the truck. That means that since that was Aurora's action, now Cypher gets to go.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. Now would be a great time for whatever I'm about to do to use compensate, because I know that whatever it is, it's not going to be study. But yeah, I think then oh god. I used up that unique weapon, so What do I am not like a full frontal attacker person.
Don't forget
so
you've got items off to the side next to your friend
Oh.
list.
Okay. It actually helps me less. These are things for me to be very undercover. Okay. Yeah. What would a brace of shuriken look like?
Essentially, you pull a load of probably micro shuriken that expand out, and you've got these laser throwing stars that you can let loose with.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So you're gonna. So right now, it would have been desperate, but you're risky. They are a gang, so risky, low effect with this brace of shuriken.
Okay. Is there any way to push up the effect?
Yes, you could push yourself for 2 stress, or you could accept the devil's bargain.
What's the devil's bargain?
Oh, I think the devil's bargain is that they are going to knock your butt off of this truck and essentially put you out of range of helping your friends for a bit.
You know what? This is my last compensate move. I think it actually kind of works out beautifully whether or not that happens.
Okay, so you're going to have 3 dice with your compensate. It's going to be risky, standard effect.
Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. No, I meant whether or not it works.
Okay.
Like, I know that the devil's bargain will happen no matter what, but whether or not it works is a whole nother matter. So I've got 3 dice.
3 dice.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go for it. And let's just see where this goes. I got a 6.
Got a 6. So you've landed there, and they are up. You kind of pushed Aurora back, and we see you roll. And even as you keep rolling and roll off of the truck, we see you throw those, even as you're falling backwards. And we saw them last session that they go out and they home and they cut through. And because you weren't like they didn't even see you as an attacker, they don't put up those psychic barriers that they would usually use to deflect these things. And we will see this spray of blood from them. It goes off, cuts through their monk's robes, and they will fall flailing backwards, just this spray out of that. Yeah, you will take them down.
Oh, yes. Okay. And then I take myself down.
And then off of it.
Oh, that feels like what Cypher should be. One moment of extreme cool followed by
Bashi.
I have a new problem. I forgot about the psychic barriers. Are there like a few of them left? A handful left?
Oh no, he killed them all.
Oh, all of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Standard effect.
Oh. Interesting. Okay, so
there might be some more still down in there, but the ones that came up here to get you are all dead.
Yeah, I
Pikachu.
Oh man. Okay. You know what? 3 blocks are already leveled, so I think instead of doing a Detective Pikachu here, I want to like just tear off like the roof, tear it apart, right? Like just reveal everything inside of the truck.
Sure. That does that sound like sabotage? Or is it using your source?
Yeah, I was thinking everything is psychic with me.
So alter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, alter makes sense. Oh, I have no dots in alter. I will. Well, what's the devil's bargain?
The devil's bargain is that essentially that structural damage will kick in the compensators and the truck will start again.
Oh, interesting. I guess we have our back to this. Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
Let me roll my one dice.
Roll your one die.
This can't possibly go wrong.
Oh,
I got a 4. Not too bad.
got a 4. So you will tear this off. And I assume that Aurora has to roll and kind of grab so that she's not thrown by the tearing of this roof off. And you will see this open back truck. You will see there's another 3 of these sword saints down there, and what looks like almost like a cryogenic coffin that seems to be in the center that they're guarding. But one of them, even as you're pulling it out, leaps up and is going to run you through with the psychic saber for 2 harm, ignores armor.
I resist, and I'm a small gang in close combat.
That's good. If you were fighting a gang, it would be great. This one guy is stabbing you.
Oh, man.
So you may resist.
Yeah, please.
Do you want to resist with source, or are you trying to dodge out of the way of this?
The psychic. No, we have to have a psychic duel.
Roll your resist with source then.
My one dice. I like to shoot myself in my own foot. Thank you very much. I got a 4.
2 more stress. It is up. So you're just going to take 1 harm then.
Okay.
And
yeah.
drives that thing, and you're kind of standing on like this maybe foot wide edge that's left of the roof on this side that you 2 are balanced on, and it's kind of swinging, and the other 2 are looking for targets to come after. Anubis.
That truck's still in play?
Yeah, because you just hear its engine start up.
No, I meant the one that sideswiped me.
One that sideswiped you is probably coming around. Essentially, the only 2 besides the big truck, the 2 cars, the front car and this car behind, are the only 2 other security that are left right this second.
All right, so I'm not too close to it because I mean it just knocked me over. I'm just checking here to see what I'm thinking here.
Yeah,
okay. Because what I'd like to do is, after, obviously having the help of the bike nut piercing me, reaching into the coat, grabbing the passenger side handle, coming up and pulling out what looks like this really weird plunger gun sort of thing, and discharging it into the passenger compartment full of gray goo nanites. A unique weapon to try to disable the driver on the vehicle.
Absolutely. So that will be, let's say, risky standard on that.
Okay.
That is the storm that just rolled in.
Okay, that's a 4.
That is a 4. So I think that the logical thing is you will do that and you will let loose into this guy, the face of that. But there's another guy in there.
Okay.
And he lets loose with just to hear the as the needler fires off like a couple dozen flechette rounds into you for 2 harm.
Okay. Well,
take it or resist.
Well, guys, I may trauma out here. I'm going to resist.
Okay.
Which one are we saying is that one? Are you saying?
I think that's probably going to be strike.
Okay. All right. Double 6s.
Are you kidding me? Are you? Back. Oh my God! What the what?
So it was actually refreshing.
Not only do you just take 1 harm that you could spend an armor to avoid, you get a stress back.
Yep.
because you're awesome.
As the moment where he fires on me and he pulls the gun up on my face and he goes to fire at me, and at that exact moment my Geno colony moves my face out of the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
I will still take the one harm, but yeah.
take the one harm, and you have eliminated this car as a threat. Aurora. Truck is started up. There's one car out in front that's turning around to come back. There are two of these psychic swordsmen down in the truck, and one that's facing your partner, the Kitsune.
Right. I want to attack the one who has foolishly attacked my compatriot and presumably left an opening.
Risky standard.
Okay, and I have potency because I have true.
So risky, great effect.
Yeah, let's get that effect going.
That seems like
aim.
aim.
Bargain?
I think the devil's bargain will be that the two downstairs will decide to activate the other defenses rather than coming after you. The automated stuff.
Okay, yeah, I'll pass on that.
Really?
I'll use a fine large weapon, and I leap at them, and it's like an unfolding large sword.
Okay.
Spiked on both sides.
Let's have you roll.
Alrighty. 6.
So you leap across. You see Bashi is getting ready to duel this guy. Psychic, you see the crackle of psychic energies, and then whoop, you come by, and two halves of him go flying in different directions. And you kind of balance on the edge there because you're a ninja.
Exactly.
Cypher.
I could have done that.
I could do that to the other one.
Cypher, what are you doing?
How far back am I? Because I rolled off and not back onto my bike. My bike is kind of... I think it exploded, probably.
Do you still have any loadout left?
Actually, yeah, I do.
Well, one of the things is you've got entry gear and stuff, which includes lines and grappling hooks and stuff.
Oh, yes, I missed that. I am absolutely taking that.
Okay.
Yeah, so those, cool.
And I think that will be a prowl to get up there.
Okay. Cool. I will roll that one dice because I'm out of compensate.
This is risky, standard effect.
Okay.
You do have a gambit left for the group.
Okay. Remind me what a gambit does.
Gives you an extra die. Oh,
yeah.
You actually got 2 gambits now. Think about it because of Fraser's roll.
Oh, dang. In that case, I will use one of the gambits.
Okay, so you get 2 dice then.
Cool. And I will I'll take 2 stress to push myself to get the 3rd. Because now I'm actually having to work for it. And I think like that actually, like as it comes off, I'm like, all right, what's the next move? And there's just like a and I'm like, not now. Not now. And I'm just like, great. Let's see how my old training kicks in.
Yeah, they're all starting to argue. They're all getting involved, and
it is white noise at this point, and I'm just like, well, at least I know who I am. Okay. Yeah, let's just go for those 3 dice. I got a 6.
So you are up on the back of this truck and in a position to aid your allies once again.
Great. I'm good with that just being my move.
Yeah. You're up there, take a look around, you've got that settled, and you're not a target right now.
Oh, that's amazing.
Bashi. There are 2. You see these sword saints, you see them do the thing where they draw out and their blades manifest in the air.
I think I gotta have a psychic duel.
You want to take them on?
Yeah, I
They're
do.
a group, but you face them equally.
I'll wait for Aurora to come kill Steel. Yeah, yep.
So-
I'm just
Risky standard.
I love it. Do you have a devil's bargain in mind?
Oh, what is it? Devil's bargain. I think the devil's bargain would be that you're going to fight down in this place, and you're going to damage the transport coffin.
I can't take that. Not in good.
Okay.
Not in good faith of myself. I know. So I will push myself.
Okay.
I have the stress to spare. Oh, kind of. I'm gonna do it anyway.
All right. So let's have you roll with command.
I got a 6.
Got a 6. That's another gambit that you add to the cell. Tell me what that looks like. They're the two. They've got the kind of the shaved heads. They've got little subdermal metallic tattoos that help channel their energies. They've got cyber eyes. They've drawn out this thing, and they come at you. What do we see?
I think we see Bashi like do a smirk and like a chuckle because these fools with their modifications, they have nothing on me. It's just a psychic warrior. I think maybe I think there's a lot of them coming at me like sword swiping, slashes, and I'm able to like dodge them with like my good ninja training. And then I think maybe there's like one of them shows like a hint of like exhaustion or something, and I think that's when I can like break in through their psychic defenses and like blast his head.
Yeah. You can do that. We see crack through, put your hand up, and sort of, and we'll see that overload. Probably see those dermal implants like sizzle out, and the first one will drop. And how do you take the second one then out?
Oh, I think I grab his little psychic blade and I make a psychic blade of my own. And
Oh, it's not even sharp to you, and you'll bring the psychic blade up, and you can just right into him. And he looks shocked because that blade can cut through anything, and that's all he's thinking is, how did he do that as he dies?
I look at Aurora.
Anubis.
All right. So there's the other pacer car. That's what's
Yeah.
remaining.
It is turning around to try and intercept.
All right. Gonna lay the sniper rifle across the hood of the truck that I just disabled, and I'm gonna try to hit the driver. I'm gonna try to take the driver out.
Okay, risky standard because of the weapon that you have.
All right, and is also standard with potency from fiery.
So risky, great effect.
Okay.
And if you need it, you've got a couple of gambits to spend.
Does anybody mind if I grab one? Okay, I'll grab one of the gambits.
Okay.
Re-roll these two, and then
So
roll
3
another one.
dice.
All right, and here comes the gambit die. Don't fail me now. A 6.
So we see that car spin around, come back. It's got auto-compensating brakes, anti-lock. It spins back around. It is coming out, and you can see it's getting weapons up to fire at the top, and then there's just one shot. And we can see the inside of that window go red, and then whoom, we've got the jump ramp, and we see the thing, whoof, and it flips, catches fire for some reason, and then crashes down into the great piles of dust that used to be buildings and people.
Can I volunteer as the reason?
Sure. So I think we can consider this a success at this point. Tell me, Fraser, Aurora, how do you get into that cab to stop the truck?
Well, I've got my sword out. I just cut through it, through the back into it.
Just cut through it. Tell me, how are you? You have a big thing that you can't carry on your bikes. Are you just taking the truck? Are you pulling the object out and moving it somewhere else? How are you four going to do this?
This is a cool point. Okay, so what if we each have those tools that are like bungee cords or whatever, right? Like tensile steel cords or whatever. What if we each attach one to our bikes and then it hovers in midair and we just ride?
That's a cool visual.
You're like, that would never fucking happen.
Absolutely. It probably gravatic holders. It keeps your bikes coordinated, and it forms like a grav biker, and you just boom, and you four will zip out of there.
Yeah, we live our lives a quarter mile at a time. Well,
A quarter mile. I have no idea what that means, but fair enough. So you are going to get 8 secrets.
do we learn about Dracula?
That's Night's Black Agents.
Right.
And 6 heat.
That sounds right.
We will deal with the entanglements and downtime next time, but let's look at XP questions, shall we? So you successfully execute a mission, push your cell's agenda. I think the reputation that you started as destructive, vicious people continues on. And this is a big group, so yeah, I think you get 4 XP for your group. It was 8, so you can each take 2, or we can, however much you want, put in the vault. Let's start with Anubis. Anubis, did you address a tough challenge with violence or tracking?
Yeah, I think so.
Repeatedly. So let's give you 2 points for that.
All right.
Do you think we learned something about you in the course of this session?
We did find out that Anubis cares for a lot of folks, even though he's a killer. I mean, he's worried about Aurora. He wants to make sure Aurora's okay. He wants to fix the clan. He's not looking for power. He's looking to repair things. So yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. And I think that we saw you engage with your personal issues and the personal issues of Aurora, so there's another point for that.
All
right. Let's come to Cypher. Cypher, did you address a challenge with planning or calculation?
Yep.
Okay. Give you a point for that. Do you think we learned something about Cypher today?
I actually think, yeah, in the privacy of that scene where he was by himself, and that realization that deep down, I think he actually kind of wants to wake everyone up.
Get a point for that, and you struggled with that issue, so that's another point.
Yeah. Oh boy.
You can put those wherever you want.
Well, I'm putting them in playbook advancement.
that makes sense. Bashi, did you address a challenge with deception or influence?
I don't think so. Not this time.
I think you did, actually.
Oh.
Because there was a whole getting your friend out. Tekla out.
That's right. Yeah. True. Okay.
So that's a point for you on that. Did we learn something about you today?
I think so. I think Yeah, there's that. Deceptively good at combat, maybe. But also I think maybe something with like making those like big bargains with the kami, I
Yeah,
think points
I
towards
think
something I'm interested in exploring. And then maybe even trying to like figure out Cypher's problems for him.
yeah, and I'll give you another point for that. So that's 3 points total. Aurora. Let's see. What I wonder. Let's look at your things. Oh, violence or threats.
I think,
So yeah, 2 points for that.
yeah, get that violence.
Do you think we learned something about you today, Aurora?
Yeah, I think the whole bit about she's worried about her family, and so it's almost like a one foot out the door almost with her father too. Like she's worried she doesn't see a way out with that, and she's already beginning to like transfer that ritual and stuff with her buddies there, like
Yeah,
making dinner and trying to bond and stuff.
and you definitely struggle with personal issues. So that's a total of 4 points there.
Woohoo.
All right. Next time we'll take up with entanglements, downtime, and pleasant home scenes. I will also deal with the fallout from this. And as Darren suggested, the person that you got out in the very first session will also do a callback to that. So that is where I'm going to stop for tonight. I'm going to stop the broadcast.